we need to go over. That's it. There's that. Your grade is weighted, so the most your tests count for 50%, your quizzes count for 30. One thing that does come up sometimes, well, you all tend to worship the grade also instead of actually focusing on what you understand. There was a kid that I had last year who came up to the desk, and he was an enriched kid. And you know, I knew it was going to be bad because, like, when you cry, especially if you have like a toddler, they'll go through, and you know the cry is going to be really bad because they're just breathing in air. It's like, and you're just waiting for like this violent sob to happen. So they come over and they got their test back, and I didn't know what the big deal was, but then they're pulling and they're like, Mr. Matt, I got an 87 on this. 87. Violent tears, as though you had just said, you know, your house blew up. Your dog ran away from home. Okay? I mean, I've never seen, and it was, again, it was like the shaking, and it was a snotty cry, which is always very undignified. Number one, school should never make you feel that way. So if you feel like a snotty cry, go in the bathroom and have it alone. Nobody wants to see that. Don't get so worked up over a stupid, there are two numbers on the top of your page. They don't define who you are as a person. Chill out, because the same thing I told that child was, you're going to take about 5 more tests. Do you really think if this 87 is going to break your heart and cause you to have, you know, some sort of mental breakdown, will change it? It's not worth it. Don't worship the number. If I can ask you a question and you can answer it, you're good. You're good. Stop freaking out over, because again, you're going to forget a negative sign someplace. Are you going to develop a snotty cry over missing a negative sign? Let's hope not. Have a little chill. Right? That goes for the grade worshiping part. Give the weighted grade. Raise your hand if you know where the math lab is. We'll start off with that. Can I say hi? Okay, some of you do. If you go down to the end of the hallway, you will find a wonderful land full of math people. That's all they do is their math homework. Raise your hand if you've worked with Ms. Hoyt before. One person. Okay. She is like the math department grandmother. She's nice, she's kind, she will take time and explain things to you in more detail and with more patience than I ever could. She is just a terrific person. Get to know, if you struggle with something, you come see me or you come see her. We'll go over the calculator part in a minute. The other thing is comparing Enriched versus Regents. Now, I'll tell you all this. I know that I am a very, very difficult grader, and the biggest thing is, I guess, I am a pusher. And there were some kids last year that I had in 11th grade that were opposite AP Psych, and apparently that's like an actual condition. But a nice analogy for it is this. You all are like my little tubes of toothpaste, okay? It's very easy for you to get, you know, the first, let's say, 3/4 of the toothpaste out. And sometimes people go through and they give up. If I see a little lump of toothpaste left in it, so a little bit of talent left in it, I will literally squeeze and manipulate and do everything I can and pull that tube of toothpaste to get every ounce of talent out of you, more than you think you have inside of you. And I do that, and it's my fault. I'm a pusher. And I'm very, very competitive. Now, when we go through for enriched work, we'll go back and hit that last slide in a second. When we talk about enriched work, this is what enriched work looks like. Enriched work is supposed to have, does the question reference something that needs to be drawn? If so, draw it. Easy. Is there a formula? Show it. Is there a substitution? Show it. Some of you are mental math all-stars, which is terrific. You just need to be able to walk me from A to Z when you go through and submit your work. So if that means you have to show more than you're used to, yes, you will get papers back that say how or why, and you will not get credit for questions you get correctly. The goal of what we're doing is not to just prep you to take the enriched or the exam at the end of the year. Your goal is to set yourself up to go through, to get above, I'm talking at a minimum, as a floor, your scores on that for each need to be an 83. As a floor value. Even that is unacceptable. I'm hoping we can all get above a 90. Your floor is an 83. That lets you, and doors start to open, and you're going to see actual separation from your peers that you all will start to experience if that happens. You will take pre-calc. As a student that's eligible to take it for MCC credit, it's 4 college credits that you go through and take. I've yet to have somebody that got above an 83 go through and not get those 4 credits if they signed up for it. And then after that, the next thing that you transition onto is either AB Calc or BC Calc. That's going to get you 4 college credits. If you take pre-calc, that's 4. The AP exam is another 4. If you take AP Stats, you can leave here with 12 college credits. The other thing is, if you actually take AB with me and get a 5, you get inducted into our little Hall of Fame. The other thing that you can see, if you get 100 on the Regents exam, I think there's 4 so far that I've had, you get a brick of your very own. You can decorate any way you want. You can talk trash about other people on the brick. There was somebody actually who wanted to, whose goal was to get a 100 because they wanted to put and get the brick directly above where I had my computer, and they were going to put their face on it, so I'd have to look at their face every day. You want to have it be, an inappropriate drawing. In all honesty, if you get the 100, it can go there. I really don't. It's a brick of your choosing. Okay. So hopefully this year, because we have more kids taking the Regents exam this year, we can get a bunch of 100s. By the way, the boy that was going to do that got a 99 and forgot a negative sign. So that made me I was very nervous because he got a perfect multiple choice. But in any case, the goal for you this year, for every one of you, is to get a perfect paper. And this is the competitive part of me. I'll get to that. At the end of every year, I always have the kids go through and give me a review of how I did, and they write a letter to the kids from next year. Somewhere in here, there's a book of all of the submissions. But in any case, the kids from last year wrote letters to you all. And these were the top things that they went through and said. There were 2 6s, I'm sorry, to make sure that you're aware of. Every day there's a graded assessment, every single day. Be ready for it and make sure that you're here early because you can gain a couple minutes. They talked about how there's not a lot of extra credit, but you take a ton of assessments in lieu of that. The tests do count for a lot. That's what you're planning for. Again, I am a pusher. I view this, and I'm very happy this year, because now that I have all of the Enriched, we can get a good sense. We have never, as a building, had higher Enriched scores than Webster Thomas. And this will be the first year that that changes. We will prep you, and that exam is so, for me personally, is so important. It's something that shows up on your, everyone says, oh, no one sits there and goes, yeah, Common Core math, that's easy. It makes you look very, very bright. If on your college or your high school transcript, you get to go, yeah, I got a 97 on that Algebra 2 exam that everybody said was so difficult. I want nothing more than for you not to beat Thomas even by a little, but by a lot. And we will, I'm telling you that you are my little soldiers. And we will be an invading army. And we will go through and not only conquer them. I want us to do so bad that the people at Thomas get fired. They say, how could you be so bad? They beat you by 20 points at Webster Trade. What are they doing over there? We want you to be little genius. We want you to destroy it on the exam. You make sure that you go for understanding as opposed to memorizing. That's a big thing that gets you more ready for calc. I don't know if this is a newsflash to you. I'm a profoundly loud person. Very, very loud. I don't know if some of you even had Walter before you maybe even heard me through the wall. And you're responsible for what we do regardless of whether you're here or not. So, questions on any of that? The other thing, on a side note, I'm terrible with names. So all of you will be getting your name with a card on it, and that's how I go through and call on you. Don't take it personally if I don't know your name for like the first 6 weeks of school. It takes me a very, very long time. I have cousins that I don't know their names. So that makes you feel better. We did that. Do this. Have those computers out again. And you're going to go to that website that's at the top there where it says mathexcelforschool.com. Now, this is how you're going to get some of your homework. Not all the time, but if there's ever a day when I'm out, this is how you'll find some of your homework. Understand these questions, by and large, are not supposed to be that difficult, but they are something to help you make sure that you stay sharp with stuff that we've already done. So you're going to go to mathexcelforschool.com. And then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to click somewhere on the right. I think it says register as a student. I'm pretty sure none of you have Pearson passwords. The first thing that it asks for is the access code. So that's the access code right there. One that says access code. So you want to input that. Don't use your webstercsd.org email. If you have a Gmail, if you have Hotmail, if you have Yahoo, I don't care. Just make it something so it's not webstercsd. When you get done, write down the username and the password. If the Russian spies go through and hack into your MathXL account, the worst thing that's going to happen is they're going to do your homework for you. There's nothing bad about having an easy to remember password. Make it password if that's allowed. You are Enriched 3, so when it comes to entering the course ID, that's what it is. Understand there's a question on there that's like, what school are you at? And I think you have to select other and then click Webster Schrader. But the other end of it is this website is really, really slow today because there's high school students from all over the country that are logging in and setting up their accounts. And plus our Wi-Fi is really, really slow. Yep. Right. When it says, do you have a Pearson education account, just click no. Raise your hand if you have questions we're doing, because I haven't done it in a while. The things that the other classes, the roadblocks that they hit were that selecting your high school is a drop down. You have to, I think, click other. Those are zeros, not O's, for your passcode. Yeah, whatever email is it, but just make sure it's not a Webster CSD.
Yeah.
Any problems so far? I think it's very slow loading though, is that true? Oh, your access code is this one. Okay. Kids, the access, that's for the bottom of the first page. At the bottom of the first page, that's the access code that it needs. It's 6 5-letter words. Oh, sure. Okay. If you have one from another class, you can use that. It's this one here, that access code. This one is for, it'll ask you for the class code or course ID. Kids, the first one that you need to input is the access code, then the second one is the course ID. And I think you have to hit a drop down for like find other for school. Okay, let me know. Any more problems with it? No, you get to pick. I'd make it maybe read an email or something that you. It's just something you can remember. And kids, write down what your login name is, and please go through and write down what your password, whatever password you choose, so you remember what it is. Kids, if it doesn't work today, because again, there's so many of you on the Wi-Fi right now, I'm going to send this out to you as well tonight. So if you can't get it tonight, today, that's fine. Just finish it off tonight at home. Were we able to log in? Were we able to get them done? Yes? No? Who got it done? Some of you so far? Okay. I'll send out the instructions again tonight, but just make sure, please, that you do get it done. Yeah.
Wait, School City, would that be
Yeah, I just put in Webster there. And we'll tell you very seldom in here do you actually need these. There's sometimes when we'll have them, sometimes that you'll need them, and I'll send you a message to remind if that's the case, like if it's imperative that you have it with you that day. But by and large, you don't need them when you're here. Give me another minute or so to finish up. So who here now has got it done? Raise your hand. All right. The rest of you, is it just loading? Not working? Something? It might be nothing. Okay. I'll tell you. Yeah, the assignment, just so you know, I will tell you when there's an assignment on there, and you normally will have longer than a day or two to go through and finish. If there ever is a day where I'm not here, which sometimes happens, if that's the case, you'll have an assignment waiting for you in here. It's the expectation that you would come in, you would have a sheet of loose leaf paper, because I'll make you go through and hand your work in separate, but you'll go through and answer the questions on them. You have a question?
Yeah.
1.58 up. Yes. Yeah, just do other, and you'll have to like manually enter trader. Yeah, somebody else had that. I tried at home. I think it's like a timeout thing. Was it waiting for a while and then that popped up? Yeah, that might be what it is. Same thing. Guys, you might be getting a timeout error. What did the message itself say? Did it reference timeout or something? Or? It says an error has occurred. That's why I'll send it out for you tonight. I can assure you there's like 1 or 2 devices on your Wi-Fi at home. So that would make it a lot easier. It's most likely a timeout error that's causing you to get booted. Okay? All right. So let's do this. Skip over. You can set those on the ground and close them because we don't need them again. And you can put them away. We're going to start off with our first set of stuff. The first 3 or 4 days of the year we're going to go through and do some factoring, review, because it's so foundational to everything that we do in Algebra 2. So have out with you, please, the note packet for today. And I apologize. The copier was jamming and I got frustrated, so I wasn't waiting for 8 pages to be copied. I switched it down to 2. Taking a look at the first question, your job is to determine what the greatest common factor is for A and to break it down. So let's ask this to start. We can get 6 of you. Hands up, please. And tell me what the GCF is for 1A. We got 1, 2, 3. Good. What's left after you take out the 9? Minus 2. Now, one thing that's going to change for some of us is you all get by, and it's a personal pet peeve, but it's going to make you so you don't sound foolish when you go on beyond Algebra 2. We're going to work on building sort of an age-appropriate vocab. Like fractions don't have tops and bottoms. They have numerators and denominators. There's a radical, and the value under the radical is called the radicand. And when you're reading answers like this, if you were to tell me what this itself is going to be, you would say 9, and if you say this is not right. If you said 9 z minus 2. That's incorrect. To denote that you're including a set of parentheses, you would say the quantity of. So if you were to read this as a final answer to somebody, you'd say 9 times the quantity of z minus 2. Take a look, please, at B. Hands up, please, if you can tell me what the GCF would be in B. We'll wait for 6. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you want to say? And what's left after you factor out the 7? How about for C? What would our GCF be in C? Hands up, please, when you can tell me. Yeah, one person, 2. There you go. So that would mean that we really don't say it has a greatest common factor. There isn't one. The only thing that goes in is just a 1. Let's bounce down, please, to 2A. Hands up, please, when you tell me what the GCF in 2A would be. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you want to say, please? Close. You gave me a common factor, not the greatest. No? No?
3x squared.
3x squared. Now, how much is left after you take out the 3x squared? What remains?
3x plus 4x.
Careful.
3 plus 4.
Yeah, 3 plus a 4x. Questions on that? How about, please, for B? Hands up, please, if you can tell me what the greatest common factor for B would be. We'll wait for 6. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead.
8p.
Hands up, please, if you can tell me what remains after you factor out the 8p cubed. Got one person. 2.
4 cubed. And then 3. No, 3. And then 5 cubed.
Don't forget your signs. And how about, please, for D? What's your GCF going to be in D? You got 1, 2, 3. And what's left after you factor out 6m squared n?
4m n minus 3 just 3 plus 2 plus m squared n squared.
Perfect. Perfect. Now, what we're going to have you all do is this. So you got done the one, so you're all at the same spot as the other group. What we're going to have you all do now is this. Over on the side is the calculators. What we're going to have you do is we'll have the first 2 rows go and pick them up. So let's do that, please. First 2 rows, go and pick up the calculator, please, on the side. And then grab a seat. We'll just have you log in so you know how to go through and log in. By the way, once you get them, turn it over. You're going to see a number on the back. That number denotes which slot it's supposed to go in. So every day when you get it, if you've got number 5, make sure it goes back in slot 5. You 2 rows can slide over and grab one. You'll be putting them back in a minute. We just want you to get used to logging in. So every day going forward, that's what needs to happen. You're going to need to log in as soon as you come in. So what you have to do is go to the home button and then press 5, 5. It's going to ask you for your username. Your username is the first letter of your first name followed by your last name. So if it's Bob Smith, you would be B. Smith. And your password is 1234. So if you do that right, it'll show up. Again, you hit home and then hit 55. That's going to get you to a login screen. Now, sometimes that login button is going to be grayed out. If that's the case, just turn it over. And there's a reset button. You just tap it with your pencil. So as you can see, you guys are starting to do it. Go in, go in home, 55. Your username is the first letter of your first name, then your last name. And then your password is 1234. If you're having an issue, let me know. I'll go through and fix it. Okay. You see this one? You're going to have to grab it. Reset it. Grab another one. I don't know. Someone put it in here. Anyone having issues logging in? 1234. Is everybody able to get in? Yes? No?
Yes.
All right, terrific. So, last thing for today, go through and set those up over on the side, put them back in the right spot, and get ready because that's what you're going to have to do next time when you come in. Just make sure it works. If you weren't able to log in, let me know. We'll make sure that I have your information in right, which is very possible that I could have it wrong. Hit home and hit 55. First letter of your first name, then your last name, and your password is 1234. 55. First letter of your first name, then your last name, and the password 1234. Okay. Thanks a lot, guys.
How do you go on the network?
Oh, when it does that, that's when you just need to hit that
Okay.
reset button on the back. Okay. Actually, as long as you're doing this, I'll put that one back. Thank you, guys. Your homework tonight, if you didn't finish, I'll post the instructions in Google Classroom, but it's just to finish up the logging into MathXL and setting up your account. Check and see. You want to know where Mr. Line's office is? Check Mr. Line just after the Okay? Yep.
Have a good day.
You too. We'll see you later.
Why?